Hey guys, it's Code Red Outdoors again. I have an early start in my shop today. I'm going to be trying to make a small sunfish or bass topwater spook. It's just probably only 2.5, 3 inches. But I'm going to start off with this piece of wood. I went to Lowe's and this is just a scrap that they had. And they just gave it to me. But if you can't find any scraps, just go to Lowe's and buy like a 2.5 foot section of it and just chop it up, and you can make whatever size spook you want. When you're making anything in the shop at all, I have lots of power tools and hand tools. You always want to wear safety glasses. I just got these 3M safety glasses from Home Depot. They're on clearance for like $5. These are the best safety glasses I've ever had. They fit my head perfectly, and I just don't have any complaints. They're also shatterproof, so if anything comes flying up and hits you right here, it's not going to shatter. I'm going to be using today a saw, like a hand saw, some chisels. These are nice Irwin marbles. I think that's how you say it. I'm going to be using those to just round it over. Some sandpaper. A vise just to clamp it down, and if you guys have a lathe, that would really help. I have a lathe right here, a bandsaw right here. I have a planer. I can't really use that for this unless I want to get my thickness. The drill press, I guess you want to put the little eyelets in it, but I'm just going to be showing you how to make a spook with hand tools, because I know a lot of people don't have hand tools at home. So let's get started. So guys, right here behind me is my piece of wood. It's clamped up in my vise. You can use any tool you want to cut it, but I'm going to be using this Japanese, what is it? It's a pole saw. And there is a couple little teeth missing, like right here. And then it's just kind of gunked up. This was at Harbor Freight. It was real cheap, and I wanted to try it out, and it works real well. So there's probably better quality ones. But this is what I'm going to be using. And I'll save you guys the time. You just want to make a square. So whatever the thickness of your wood is, transfer it onto the other side. So you get a square. And then you just want to cut that square out. And then I'll show you what to do after that. So after you have your piece cut out, you just want to make a couple marks going this way, like I did on this side. And then with the chisels, it doesn't matter what size chisel you use. Like I could use my 1/2 inch, 3/4, or 1 inch. I think I'm gonna go with the 1. But these Irwin marbles really work well. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna cut that out, and I want to have a taper on both sides, so you can draw a middle mark right on your piece of wood, and shave towards that. That way you get a nice round cylinder that tapers on both sides. That's what you want. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to clamp it up in my vise. And starting at the halfway point, you're just going to make a couple light cuts. Make sure not to go too far. Make sure it's clamped down real tight too. And you just want to slowly take your time. Might have to wiggle the chisel a little. Once you get it like that, you should start to be able to just shave it right off. So I'm going to spare you the time of that. That way this video is not too long. But I'll get back to you once I have a round cylinder. So guys, I just still have another quick tip. You can just use a chisel and one of these mallets for it. I actually made this on my lathe. It kind of looks like a mini baseball bat. Kind of self-explanatory. But what you do is you just put it on and give it some little taps. That way you don't have to keep pushing, because the inside of the wood kind of starts to get a little hard. But I've only done one side so far, and not even the back. So there's like really 4 parts to it. So, I'll get back to you in a second when I'm all done. So guys, I just finished up with the I guess you could even use like a broomstick for this. Just cut it. But I had this leftover wood, so this is what I used. You probably could just use a dowel, but it can't be pine because pine has pores that are very close together, and when they get wet, they fill up with water a lot faster than maple or oak. I wouldn't use anything other than maple or oak for this unless you have like walnut or something just laying around. But pine, quick way you can actually tell is, see how there's no knots in this? Usually there's very little knots in maple and oak, but in pine, there's knots probably every couple inches. Another thing is I wouldn't use layered wood, like plywood, because it would just fall apart. So I try to stay away from pine and plywood. Other than that, you know, you could use whatever, just to get a dowel or anything like that. So next I'm just going to use, I have a rigid sander right here. This is a 120 grit belt. I just ran out of 80 because that's what I would be using. But you just want to either hold it in your hand or use the vise and just round it over. Instead of using this, I might actually use, right behind me I have a belt sander. This is a Ryobi. So I think I'm actually going to use that. So I'll get back to you when I'm done with that. So in the list at the beginning, I said you could use sanding pads or sandpaper. You could even use sponge pads. That would just take a little longer. Or you could just have really accurate cuts with your chisel. And you wouldn't need it at all. Same thing with the lathe. You might still need to sand it a little bit though. So after a little bit of time on the belt sander, you can see it's not a perfect circle at all. This side's actually a little better. It's not a perfect circle. It's more like a better oval. So it's pretty close though. So if you have an oval that's shaped like this, when you drill your holes, see how it's shaped like this and the bottom part's a little bit thicker this way than this way? That's where you want to put your holes. And you probably want to round over the fronts a little bit, so that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm just going to use the belt sander again and just round that over so you get a little bit better of a point at the end. Not a point, but just round it over. I'll show you in a minute. So guys, I'm just going to mention it again. Wear safety glasses. It could save your eye pretty much. It's really hard living without an eye. My uncle actually lost an eye. It's not fun. So just wear safety glasses and you could prevent that. And if not, you know, it will help it a lot. But I did round it over. So now we got a little bit more of a point at the end. So now what you're going to want to do is you're going to find the top side of your oval. So for me, that would be this face right here. You want to drill little tiny holes right in there with your drill press or I guess your little battery-powered drill, and drill in as deep as your eyelet would go. So you just want to buy little eyelets. I actually don't have any on me, so I'm going to finish the rest of this project with just giving you an example until I go out and buy some. So you just want to put so probably 2 hooks here, 1 hook in the back. But when you put in your second hook, you don't want it so that if there's a hook on there, it can flop down and get stuck in another one. So I might actually just do 1 towards the front or middle, like right here, and then 1 in the back. And then you want to put an eyelet in the front for your line. And if there's a little tiny slit in your eyelet at the back, you just want to pinch that shut with pliers, because then your line would pop right out, and you don't want that. So I'll show you what I mean in a second. So right now, guys, I have a 1/16 of an inch drill bit right here. And like I said before, just whatever size would fit your eyelet, the hole anyway. So what you're going to want to do is you're just going to want to chuck it up in here. Now, you could just hand chuck it and call it that, but I have a chuck key, so I'll just, you know, chuck it in there just in case. So what you're going to want to do is just adjust your height. Most of you might know how to use one of these, but I'm just doing this for people that don't. And if you also have a hand drill, that would work perfectly fine, like one of the crank ones. or your hand drill, or just borrow one from a neighbor. So you're going to want to determine your front. So this is going to be my front. Sorry for the bad lighting, because back here there's a window. I'm going to put a hole in the front, the middle, and then the back. So I'll do the middle first. And like you saw there, you don't want to go all the way through. And when you do, you want to try to center it as well as you can. You only want to go down probably a quarter of an inch, not even that. So now I'll do the front of my spook. So in a nice little hole in the front there, and then now I'll do the back. So once you've done the front, the middle, and the back, all you have to do is throw some hooks in there, well, some eyelets, some little, they're not swivels, they're like little rings. Put them on there, and then your hook. You can spray paint this, you can leave it like this. I prefer to go with a primer, just to, you could probably even use white paint and do several coats. And then you want to get like a cream color, and then you want to put some like little details. I know my brother's done googly eyes and stuff like that, but if you just use a Sharpie, you can get really good, and you can put some fins on it. And then once you've done that, you can just clear coat it so it looks like a bone spook. I really do like the bone spooks, they work the best, but this is a nice little spook that you can use, you could throw for bass. So like I said in the beginning, this is only 3 inches, but, you know, I bet you a big bluegill or something could hit this. And it's got some weight to it too, so you don't even need to bore out the inside to put a weight or anything. This is heavy enough. And I've used them before and they work for me. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Another quick thing, if you subscribed, go down in the comments, tell me your name, and I'm thinking about doing a giveaway. And I know I only have 7 subscribers, but I would like to do a giveaway. So that means you have a 1 out of 7 chance. To enter into the giveaway, you would just have to like this video, comment, and subscribe. You can comment something, I don't know, your name, what you like to do, what you like to fish with. You could tell me to do another video on something. Just as long as you comment, like, and subscribe, I'll enter you into the giveaway. Okay, thank you guys. See you later.